I have had a hell of a fucking day. And now I get to talk about Star Wars. Or should I say, Les Miserables, because that's what this shit is. I don't know if any of you guys like musicals. Here's the thing. I love musicals. I am that kind of girl. Not all of them. Some of them fucking suck. Some of them you think are going to be great. Like I remember I was like, ooh, Pirates of the Panzams. That's going to be great. That was probably one of the boringest motherfucking things I've ever seen in my life. I would not recommend that. Maybe a different cast, maybe a different setting, but it sucked. Anyways, Les Mis is probably one of my favorites. It's not an easy watch. I have seen it about 4 times live throughout my life. Each production had its own unique qualities. Each one, sometimes it really kills it when Javert can't sing. I know this is probably controversial, but Javert is my favorite character. That's one of the things I find endearing about Deep Space Nine when Eddington is calling Cisco Javert. And I'm like, Javert is a fantastic character, and it pains me. Russell Crowe's performance, I had such high hopes, and, it was what it is. But I was talking to Raging Rhino earlier, and I was like, bruh, this shit is Les Mis. And he's like, I've never seen Les Mis. I start sending him clips, and he's like, I would love to watch this, but I can't do musicals. I was like, don't worry. They got one that's not a musical. It's got Liam Neeson. It's got Liam freaking Neeson. It's got Captain Barbossa. It's got the one and only, the amazing Kill Bill herself, whose name, Uma Thurman. I was about to say, I just cannot fucking remember her name. I'm on 0 sleep and pure caffeine. But guys, I vaguely remember that one. I watched the end scene again, and I was like, all right. Personally, I will give it to Russell Crowe. That ending scene with him, in my opinion, is better. It does have its qualities about Captain Barbossa and Liam Neeson having that little moment at the end. I will give it that. But the singing and the thing, for those that haven't watched it, like Rhino, who I see in the chat, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I might accidentally spoil it for you because I have a tendency to spoil things. But so let's talk about this. Can I see a line of ones in the chat? Have you guys seen Les Miserables? I don't care if it's a movie. I don't care if it's a play. I don't care if it's the fucking musical. Have you seen it? Yes or no? Or have you read it? Do you know the story? Put a 1 in the chat if yes, 2 if no. Because no matter what you're going to put, I'm going to give you a recap, but I just want to get a grasp of the room on who has seen Les Mis, who knows the premise of Les Mis. Okay, I see you got everyone on Twitch apparently is a 2. Rimru is a 2. Do lots of 2s. Okay, so I'm going to spoil this for you, because all of Andor has been shit. Last season, I can barely remember what the fuck happened last season. It is bad. People that tell you that it's good, either they're very type optimism and they love smiles and joy and sunshine and they try to see the light at the end of the tunnel on everything. They're those types of happy people. Or the IQ might not be that high. Or they have not watched many movies or read many books or seen many things. So those are the type of people, in my opinion, that like this. Extremely happy people that are optimistic about everything. And, it's like Santa Claus at Disneyland on crack getting laid. Like those types of people. IQ down a little bit. Well, even Forrest Gump can see how stupid this shit is. Or you know what? Also, I'll give it out to these people that don't really know anything about Star Wars. Like base knowledge of Star Wars could probably like this. But even then, I'm like, take out Star Wars from this name if you don't know anything about it. Like there's stuff about it. It's just like this 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4 in this situation. But anyways, I digress. Let me get back into this. So season 1, I watched it. I guess I reviewed it. I don't remember. I have blocked it from my memory. There's more important things, like I don't know, the way I looked at this rock on a walk like 2 weeks ago with my dog, and I'm like, I wondered how many other dogs have peed on this rock. Like things like that stick in my memory. But Andor season 1, gone. No, it's not worthy of space in my brain, apparently. And this season, what they've been doing is they've been releasing episodes in waves of 3. And so you get 3 episodes, and then the next season, it's like, oh, a year has gone by, and this is what's happened in a year. And I'm like, well, nobody made much progress in their lives in that year, did they? But, yeah, so that's what's been going on. So now, this is a third wave in 3 waves of episodes. This is the third one. Now, let me get my tweet pulled up because this is gonna be a little bullet point I have. Also, I got people screaming at me over this stupid tweet, and I'm like, "This is, like, the least controversial thing I've ever freaking tweeted." They're like, "Spoilers." I'm like, "Shut up, bitch, you don't even follow me. My tweets are for people that follow for me, myself, and I, and then people that like to see the things I tweet for me, myself, and I, so my followers. You bitch don't even follow me, so get the fuck off my timeline, homie." Okay. I aspire to be funny sometimes. I know I'm not funny, but I try. Okay, so here we go. So, guys, Andor, episode 7. The thing that happens in that episode, Andor gets force healed. It's the first time we really get to see a force user in Andor that I can remember. Like I said, season 1 wiped from my brain. And all of those people that are like, well, you just don't like Andor because there's no Jedi or lightsaber battles. And I'm like, bitch, do you even know me? Bitch, do you even know why I like Star Wars? No, you don't. No, you don't. Okay. And we got episode 8, Les Mis 2.0. This is when Gorman, and I'm pretty sure I spelled that wrong because that's supposed to have an H. I think I tweeted this when I was falling asleep, though, take in mind that. I finished these episodes and then I got woken up immediately by a screaming child. But so Gorman massacre occurs. Cyril dies. They get K2SO. So now, if you don't understand that, that's fine. I'm going to explain it to you. Episode 9, Mon Mothma calls out Palpatine publicly, joining the rebellion, and Bix leaves. She like deuces Andor. Okay, so let me explain this. Now that we got the thing, everything before episode 8 and 9 did not need to be there. Entire first season, get rid of it. Episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, get rid of them. Does not need it. The first time anything remotely fucking interesting happens is episode 8. And so what has been going on? I think I retweeted. Let me go. Energy. Okay, so this is a tweet from Script Trooper, which I quote tweeted, so it'd say on my timeline. So this is an excellent point. So Gorman is a planet that its entire industry is fashion. There's a special type of spider that's all over the planet. And so basically they're like silk harvesters and they make all the most beautiful clothing in the galaxy, right? So their entire planet, see, I 100% spelled it wrong. It had an H. But the entire planet is dedicated to making clothing and fashion design. And the big bad that the Imperials want to do is, there's some kind of rock that they need that's under the ground that the Gormans don't use, that they don't know about, and the Empire wants to take it. So they have this. The entire season has been the Imperials trying to destroy Gorman's economy and destroy the planet by poisoning their reputation, destroying their economy, and all that, so that way they can go take over. Now, Scripture put it way better than I can, so let's read it. There was absolutely no reason for military to occupy Gorman. He's right. It's one of the dumbest things Palpatine could have done. Again, he's right. The Gormans were perfectly happy with their planet and its industry. The Emperor could have simply mined the material needed and left the Gormans alone. Why would he bring this kind of negative attention for no reason? Just like Ahsoka, where the New Republic has to be dumb for the plot to progress, the Empire has to be dumb for the Andor story to be told. Exactly. If the Imperials are like, hey, you got all this rock on your fucking planet that you guys don't need, because all you guys need is the fucking spiders, and nowhere in that briefing did they say mining the rock would destroy the spiders. Right? It's fucking retarded. It's retarded. So, Script Trooper said it. Go give him a like. Go give him a follow. If you guys aren't following Script Trooper, let me go back to my tweets. Scroll. Look at all the funny shit I tweet. Look at, there's me pissing off tweeted. Or me pissing off tweeted. There we go. Back to this one. So, that, and they could have it's so stupid. They could have had their whole bases of operations there, all that. But anyways, let's get on to Les Miserables. So, for those of you that have never read Les Mis, have never watched Les Mis, either movie or theatrical production, it takes place during the French Revolution. And the story follows the character Jean Valjean, who was a criminal. What was his crime? Well, he did technically commit a crime. That's Javert's whole thing. And him and his family were starving. He broke into a house and stole a loaf of bread. For that, he got put into prison for 5 years. He tried to escape, so he was in prison for like 19, 20 something years. And then we have Javert, who is a police officer, and his entire life is dedicated to following the law and to not breaking the rules and to holding the people that, break the rules accountable for their actions. Stealing bread, right? Yes, exactly. He stole a loaf of bread because his sister's child was dying. So both of them, and this is one of the things, it's like, are either of them wrong? Morally? No. Javert is, just doing his job and following the law. Is the law flawed? Yeah, probably. You shouldn't go to jail for like 5 years for stealing a loaf of bread. That's fucking insane. And then we got Jean Valjean, who did commit a crime. He broke the law and, he tried to escape from prison for breaking the law. Was the punishment justified? Probably not. Should he just have received like a slap on the wrist or like a misdemeanor? Did he deserve that long of prison time? Absolutely not. But this isn't modern day. This was back during the French fucking Revolution. So he gets out, he violates his parole, he takes off because he wasn't going to get work anywhere, and he like lives this like completely other life, and it becomes like Javert hunting him down. And it's like one of those things like where it's like you're rooting for the criminal, but it's like he did commit a crime, but it's like it's not like he murdered people. He's not like he's like a pedo. It's, it was like the simplest crime. The dude's just trying to live. So it's like it's like a battle of morals. Like who is really like morally wrong or morally just, it's great. It's absolutely fan fucking tastic. And then there's these other subplots. So Jean Valjean feels guilty because one of his workers was like a single mom, which back in those times, no, 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 no. Unless you're a widow, no, 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 no. She had baby out of wedlock. And she gets fired from his factory. She has to like basically prostitute herself out. She gets sick. She starts dying. He feels guilty for the fact that she's dying. So he goes and finds her kid, which is a little girl named Cosette. He adopts Cosette and raises her as his daughter. So he's living this double life. He's hiding from Javert. He's got this daughter. During this time, there's the French Revolution. There's this spoiled rich dude, and he falls in love with none other than Cosette. He is friends with all of the French revolutionists. They had the great, beautiful musical, Red, fantastic song. So Marius. God, I was like, what the fuck is that kid's name? So Marius is in love with Cosette. His best friends are all in the French Revolution. He's joining in the French Revolution, but Jean Valjean knows that he's going to get killed. Javert gets pulled into the mix of it. Javert is still hunting Jean Valjean. There's this huge battle scene. Literally everyone fucking dies. Everyone gets shot up. Javert is like questioning his morals because like he's watching all these like young boys, and I mean like teenagers, like they are not like they're kids. There's freaking kids, right? Like they should not, these like are boys that should not be in war. He's watching all of them die. He's questioning his morals and all this. He's still tutting for Jean Valjean. And then it's like, but Jean Valjean is like a good person. He like raised this kid. He's trying to do everything right, even though he fucked up earlier in life and he's been hiding ever since. Still technically a criminal. And Jean Valjean saves Marius because he knows that his adopted daughter's in love with him. It's drama. It's so many levels and deep and just convoluted. But guys, you've seen this as much as I have, then you know when it's getting ripped off. And I was watching episode 8 of Andor, and I'm like, I was actually shocked. I'm like, wow, I'm not like just, waiting to peel my eyes from the screen so I can stare at my phone. I'm not fighting to stay awake. I'm like, I'm actually intrigued. This is interesting. And then in this, I already spoiled it for you, Cyril dies. And I realize as Cyril dies, because he's looking at Cassian, so it's this like huge mob scene. And one of the things that happens is, oh my God, so all the Gormans are basically French. It's basically France. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm going to see. If not, I'll get fucking struck if I pull up footage, but okay. Okay, here we go. Like, I kid you not, they even got the fucking flags, man. Okay, here we go. So one of the things about Les Mis, they got the flag. So this is literally what happens in Les Mis. They have a whole barricade scene, just like this. You got, the officers. I'm blanking on what the hell the French officers are called. The French officers take them. All these motherfuckers. It's like it's literally the French Revolution 2.0. This guy that wrote this is just a big fan of Les Mis because he ripped off the entire plot for these couple episodes. And then I realized throughout the entire thing, because when Cyril dies, I'm like, oh my God, he was supposed to be Javert. The worst like copy of Javert ever. Absolutely worst copy of Javert ever. But I'm like, this is literally it. It's the because Cyril, he's just doing his job, right? He has just been raised in the Empire. He's got a job in the Empire. He's just trying to do the best that he can. He's trying to catch the criminal, which is Andor. From my vague little points of memory from season 1, is that was his entire thing, is he's trying to hunt down and track down Andor and like follow all like what all the rebels are doing. And so in the Gorman massacre, Andor is there because Andor is trying to kill the blonde chick that's in the thumbnail of this live stream. So, oh, this chick right here, this bitch. What the fuck is her name? Deidre, who is also banging Cyril randomly out of nowhere. So Cyril, like, he's just trying to do his job. This bitch is cray cray. It's like I watched some interview with her where it's like she was like studying psychopaths, like female psychopaths. I'm like, she's not acting like a psychopath. She's just like, just Devil Wears Prada. I'm going to do whatever I can to get to the top kind of chick. She doesn't come off to me as a psychopath. But I don't know. I guess that's what she was going for. I totally missed the mark, but we got 3 episodes left, so maybe she'll get to that psychopath. But also in this, it's like she fucking cries when Cyril dies. The psychopath wouldn't have feelings for another person. Let's see. But anyways, what was it? What was I gonna say? I looked at the chat, which was a huge mistake. What's up with the glasses? Bruh, I'm falling asleep. This is gonna keep me awake. You got to go back to the beginning of the stream and see why I was like, I'm doing this. Deidre used Cyril. No, she fucking cried. I think she actually had feelings for him. I think she did. Like putting up with his mom. And here's another thing. A woman that doesn't care, she wouldn't let like all of the other people there know that like he was her boyfriend, that he's her man. Like she would have been like, you have to sneak around. Nobody can, like, we can't be seen together. Stuff like that. Like completely ashamed that like he's her underling side bitch subordinate guy. She doesn't get, like, she's actually crying when she finds out that he dies. So I don't believe that for like a minute. She definitely like incorporated him into her plot, but she had out, unless something drastically changes in the next 3 episodes, but I don't think so. So I'm going to digress. Let me get back to the point here. Okay, so in Les Mis, the big fight scene, the big barricade fight scene is literally fucking this. They start waving the flag, they start singing, there's this awful shootout, everyone fucking dies. And in this one though, on the show, Andor is there and him and Cyril face off. And during this time, when Cyril is like standing there, everyone's shooting, there's snipers, there's stormtroopers, there's rebels. Well, Gorman rebels. They call it an insurrection. Really? What? The Empire is not their government, so it's not insurrection. But trigger words, they used it. It's Disney. We're just gonna go past that because I don't even want to get into that kind of debate right now. But it's literally a fucking ripoff of Les Mis. And during this time, Cyril. I'm just gonna, should I just call him Cyril? Cyril has this like epiphany moment where he realizes that he's like, wait a second, you planned all of this. You want this to happen so that way the Empire, and he was like, infiltrating the people, so he's got some kind of connection to them. Who else did that? Oh, was it Javert? Oh my God, was that Javert's entire like plot? In what was that, the 3rd or 2nd act? In Les Mis. Does that happen to Javert? Oh, it does, doesn't it? Oh, it makes him realize some things, huh? Doesn't it? Isn't that part of his like big character arc? Crazy, right? Fucking crazy. So Cyril has this like epiphany while he's watching all these people get shot, all of these rebels that he was betraying the entire time anyway. He's like, oh my God, it's wrong. And then he sees Andor, who is there, who is trying to like snipe this bitch. And he starts fighting Andor. Andor's getting ready to shoot her, and then Cyril's like, bam, bitch, attacks him. They go fighting. They're rolling around in a building. And right as Cyril is standing there with the blaster pointed at Andor's freaking head. He has that moment of like, this is wrong. He starts pulling his gun away, and then French dude shoots him in the head, and he dies. And I'm like, oh, well, if he wouldn't have died here, he probably would have put his gun down and, offed himself. Spoiler alert. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Everyone in the chat, I'm spoiling Les Mis for you. Just like Javert does. Andor episode 8 is literally a fucking ripoff of Les Miserables. It is. And I'm like, that's why it's good. That's the only thing. Like, literally, this director ripped off Les Mis, and I cannot believe I didn't see it sooner. I think it's because this show was so fucking boring. It's so bad. It's so boring. It drags on and on and on and on. Like I said, season 1, get rid of it. This whole, honestly, what they need is a fucking editor. Take all of that footage, take all of that. There'll be some saints on the internet that will take all of the footage from season 1 and all of the footage from season 2 and edit it down to like a 2.5-hour movie, and it will probably be good because they're ripping off fucking Les Mis. Cyril is Javert. Cassian is Jean Valjean. Heck, even like the lover plot is fucking in this because the dude that was on the planet with Bix in the beginning of this season, the engineer guy, who has a girlfriend on every goddamn planet, I just realized. He had some blonde girlfriend on that wheat planet. He's got some blonde French girlfriend on this planet. And it's like, Andor and him, like, they have to save each other so he can go save his fucking girlfriend. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Marius and Cosette all over again. She's even fucking like the Frenchie. And I'm like, oh my God. This. And then we got Bix, who is, oh my God, what is her name? Oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm blanking on it. What is her name? I'm not watching Andor either, but I will check out Les Miserables. You should. It's fantastic. If you don't like musicals, watch the Liam Neeson version. I would highly recommend watching the musical version if you can watch whatchamacallit. I mean, Russell Crowe singing isn't the best, but Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe, Anne Hathaway, Eddie Redmayne, and then the chick that was from Mamma Mia. Fantastic casting. Like, some of the people in that, amazing. But I personally prefer watching it on YouTube, watching like original Broadway productions or like what is it called? The British, whatever the hell the British performing people are. They're great. They're absolutely great. Fantastic singers. Much better singers, in my opinion, than I'm sorry, Russell Crowe. I'm so sorry, Hugh. You're beautiful, but the guys that play you and sing you on Broadway and the British production are much better, in my opinion. And if you could ever see Les Mis in person, go do it. It's fantastic. Highly recommend. But all Andor is a really bad, long drawn out ripoff of Les Miserables, and that's the only reason why it's good. Then we got episode 9, and it's got Mon Mothma. So this is leading up because if you guys don't know, this is basically going to end where Rogue One takes off or starts. So if you didn't watch Rogue One, I don't blame you. I feel like I'm the only person on the face of the world that does not like Rogue One. I fell asleep in the movie theater. Luckily, I had bought when it was coming out. I didn't know if I was going to get work off or school because of my school schedule. I bought tickets for the night of very first viewing and then the very next night. And I fell asleep in the first one, and then the second one I fell asleep in so I was awake for the first half one viewing. The next movie I fell asleep for the first half and woke up right as the part that I had been falling asleep the previous night, and I watched it. Never needed to watch it again. I hated it. The only part that was good was Darth Vader, in my opinion. That's the only reason the movie made $1 billion, because they added in Darth Vader at the last few minutes. But yeah, Krennic, who the fuck cares? He's gonna die. At least Peter Cushing is good, right? But so episode 9 is literally, so Mon Mothma and Bail Organa are chatting it up, and they're after they saw Gorman, after they saw Les Miserables happen on Gorman, so the end of Les Mis, basically, since all those kids died in the barricade, and basically the entire city is then lifting up the red flags, and they're gonna basically blood fucking bath, guillotines. Shit's gonna go fucking crazy. Everyone going to town. So basically the revolution starts. The rebellion starts. So Mon Mothma and Bail are talking. They're like, we can't let this happen. What they did to Gorman, like they're literally just declared civil war on the entire republic. So Mon Mothma is like talking to Bail. They're like, one of us has got to do it. And Bail's like, I can't. He's like, it's got to be you. You got to give the speech. Girl, I will set you up and I will give you an out. And so Mon Mothma's like prepping her speech. She can't trust anyone because her driver is corrupt. Apparently her assistant is working for Luthen. For those that don't know, Luthen is Stellan Skarsgård. Fantastic fucking actor. Finally gets time to shine. So basically everyone is like, we got to get the fuck out of Coruscant. The Nazis are coming. The Nazis are coming, man. And so we got to get the hell out of here before they come. So basically, Mon Mothma is prepping for a speech the entire episode. And in my opinion, when she actually gives it, it's very anticlimactic. It should... Listen, I know I'm not a director. I know I'm not a cinematographer. It would have had... So they did that thing where it's like a bunch of shit happening at once. So basically, they find out Bail Organa is like, I got your out, girl. We're going to have a team pick you up. But Luthen knows one of your members of your team is a fucking spy. So he's like, Andor, you got to go do it. Andor doesn't want the fuck to do with him. So, but he's like, I got to go save her. I got to go save Mon Mothma. So basically, it's all set. While Mon Mothma is like prepping and like about to give her speech, Andor is getting into the building, into the Senate. Remember, we're like, Padme always was like talking and all that stuff. So Andor's got to get there to her door where her little floaty thing is. And this is just like, the Empire is so like, you would think there's potential that the fucking Emperor is in this building at some point, right? Because he usually is. He's in the middle in the central little floaty thingy. We know from what happened at the Jedi Temple, they got hollow fucking cameras everywhere. But for whatever reason, the security on what should be the most secure building in the fucking Empire, where's all these cameras? I don't know. Where's all the security? I'm like, there's stricter security at the fucking mall down the street from me than they got at the fucking Senate building. You're telling me all you got to do is walk through a fucking metal detector and you're good? And they got like what little listening things? You're telling me in Star Wars, a place that they have literally holocams everywhere, don't have them on now and can just see like one of the most wanted rebels just walking, kneeling, willy-nilly. They don't have any kind of facial recognition. It's just like modern day America crossing the border. No kind of, okay, we just let criminals walk into the Senate with fake ID. I'm like, I remember, this is absolutely terrible movie. I love Silence of the Lambs. Hannibal is not a good movie. It's just not a good movie. But remember when they're trying to find him and he wrote that letter to Clarice that had that type of like skin cream on it, and they used those like professional smeller people, and they were able to pinpoint down what fucking lotion making place he got it done in Italy, and they were able to hack into all of the different security cameras around fucking Italy. I believe it was Florence, right? Because that's like the city he's obsessed with. I don't watch this movie very often, so take in mind this is memory from like a decade ago. So they're able to pinpoint security for, and this, what was that movie made like back in the fucking 90s? Back in the 90s, they're able to pinpoint, like this one random security camera from a fucking coffee shop spotted Hannibal Lecter. I'm like, they're able to do that. But you can't see the fucking main criminal walking through the Senate. Give me a fucking break. Also, Mon Mothma goes out. She's giving this speech. And like I said, I'm not a director. I'm not a cinematographer. It should have been one of those moments. Instead of like all this other shit's going on, we're cutting back and forth to her. It should have been one of those things. Everything stops. Get the dramatic lighting. Have the camera where it like slowly zooms into her. And even like have the music die down to the point where she starts talking and it's silent. Like it should be cricket. So that way when she says like the final thing, because she goes and makes this big thing, she's like, and the enemy is Emperor Palpatine, and then everyone erupts. It should really just be she likes just like saying it and it gets to silent to like the point where you're like goosebumps because it's like so uncomfortable because Star Wars always has music, right? Always. There's always a soundtrack playing, at least, when George had it. Just zoom into her. That way you feel it. And then immediately after she says that, the silence immediately stops and it's screaming and fucking chaos. Oh my God. That would have been great. No. Instead, it's like, oh, hey, the 2 out of the 3 people on Bail Organa's team that's supposed to escort Mon Mothma out of the building. Is it the happy-looking Indian guy, the happy-looking black guy, or the really pissed-off white chick? I wonder, with a British accent, I fucking wonder which one is the Imperial spy. I fucking wonder. So it's cutting between them and her killing the other dude, and then and then Andor trying to get to her door, which also, these motherfucking security people suck. No fucking wonder that Luke Skywalker was able to destroy the fucking Death Star. No wonder they were just able to fly the Millennium Falcon onto the fucking Death Star. There's no fucking security. The security, like, they just don't give 2 shits, man. Because they know this bitch is giving a speech calling out Emperor fucking Palpatine. And there's no security right outside her door. It's not like they don't know where her little pod is. So Andor shows up. He's waiting for her. Andor gets her out of the fucking building by putting his jacket over her. And yeah, they got to kill the evil spy bitch. They get out of the building. Her assistant somehow gets out of the building. Somehow everybody lives except for the bad people. They shoot her chauffeur. They get her car and then they take off. And they go back to his hideout again. Because Coruscant, if he really didn't have any type of security or cameras anywhere, so they're able to just take her fucking car that's got no kind of tracking device on it either. They don't show her ditching the car or anything. They just somehow arrive at the safe house where Andor was living in, like, what, episode something in a previous episode. And they're like, we got to get you on a transport. They want you to give another speech. Yada, yada. Andor, you guys are separating. Andor, you're going back. We got to get her to Yavin. We got to get her to Yavin. Also, Bail's staying on Alderaan basically as a freaking prisoner, because he's the one that set her up for the speech. And he's like, I have to stay and buy time. And it's like, oh, bro, you're going to die. And it's like, we all know he's going to die because he's on Alderaan when it gets destroyed. So we're like, fuck. Yeah, this is the last time I'm going to see Bail. And then it ends by Andor going back to the planet, seeing his girlfriend, waking up to a Dear John letter where she's just like, my love. And it's like one of those like weird camera angles. Like, when you get like up close in the camera and it like makes you look like a fish kind of thing. Like Dory. You guys remember Dory from Finding Nemo? Like, she's got the long face. So his girlfriend's like all up in the camera. She's like, oh, my love, I'm sorry. But you say that you want to quit, but we can't quit the rebellion. So I'm leaving. I'm choosing the rebellion, so you have to too. And I was like, bitch, you just got him killed. And I'm like, I know why they did this. It's because she is, I'll give her this, she can act. She's very pretty. And she is a woman of color, and they kind of set her up in the episode 7 with the force healing thing. She's like, I just feel it. So I feel like they set her up as some kind of force user, and I guarantee you, they're gonna announce it. Who knows if it's actually gonna get made or not? But they're gonna try to do some kind of spin-off show with her. Which means she would be alive when Rey is alive. She would be alive post, Return of the Jedi and all that fun stuff. So there's a chance we could possibly see her. And then she's going to be all heartbroken. She's like, oh, I almost got wrapped. And then my boyfriend died. And it was my fault because he wanted to quit. And I made him stay, which is why we got the Death Star plans. And he got blown up on that one planet with that one British chick. Oh, but the episode ends with them basically turning K2SO on. Yay! Guys. I don't know how people can like this show. I know, like, the whole, again, for a season and basically a half, the whole Les Mis thing went over my head until I actually watched and like, this is like a direct ripoff of fucking Les Mis. The flags, the singing, the French, straight up fucking ripoff. The dynamic between Andor and Cyril, 100% ripoff. Everything else, I'm like, ugh. And they had the episode 9 had potential to be fucking great, to be iconic, and again, I think they just flopped it. Let me read this super chat though, because I thought I saw it when it came in. It was funny. Oh shit! Thank you for the thing of however much that is and whatever. Is that rubies or something? I don't know. I can't believe Anna gave credit to the writing of Hannibal, bruh. That's how you know this shit is bad. That's how you know this shit is bad. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Andor is a great show. Really? Now I think homeboy, you're lying. You are lying. White guy McGee, thank you for you. I watched season 1, only liked prison episodes. Oh, the prison episodes, you say? I should go back. Was Cassian's room number or was his little ID number 24601? It wouldn't shock me. Let's go find out. Let's put a nail in that. Let's go see. I'm gonna fucking laugh at it if it is. Prison number. I got the Sam's costume stuck in my head. Does he have any numbers on him? I gotta go back and like, I don't want to go back. I said Andor prison number. I don't see any numbers on the doors. Okay, no, that's just showing something about the floor. Okay, let me see. Yeah, because the floor like will kill you, right? If you don't stand on it. Andor prison number. Does it say number 7 in the prison? What prison was Cassian in? Okay. We'd have to like do some hardcore nerd research to find that out. I would have to go back and like watch it and try to like pick out the numbers. But it wouldn't fucking surprise me if his like prison ID is 24601 or something like that. For those that don't know, if you haven't seen Les Mis, Jean Valjean's number 24601. Prison? Oh yeah, who else was in prison? Huh? Where was this from? I swear. So maybe that's why people liked it, because like subliminally they're just really big fans of the plot of Les Mis and they didn't know it, and this is their introduction to Les Mis. Watch, they're gonna watch. If you haven't seen, if you've been watching Andor and you've never seen Les Mis, go watch it. You'll be like, oh my god, it's the same except this one sucks. Yeah. And honestly, I think the only decent part about the fucking prison shit was we had Andy Serkis in it. Yeah. Let's see. Why did I get on that topic? I don't know. My energy is beyond crashing. But anyways, Andor's awful. The bits over on Twitch, and I can't handle slow burns. Hun, this wasn't a slow burn. This was bad storytelling. And I feel like the guy was trying to drag it out as long as possible so he can make that money, which I'm not going to judge a person for trying to make money. I get it. Grifter is going to grift. That was that dude's grift. He was trying to do it, but he ripped off Les Mis, which I will give it to people. That's why people think that it's good, because it's a really poorly done version of Les Mis. And Les Mis is really good. This is just not a good version. If you guys are interested in this, you guys should go watch Les Mis because it's fan-fucking-tastic. Weirdos were there. Oh shit, thank you for the super chat. So these modern writers ignore all common sense to portray the Empire as mindless villains again, and Andor is supposed to be mature Star Wars show. I know. So a few years ago, I don't remember this. Me and Rhino were talking about it. He reminded me because some like things happen, and I guess like once I'm kind of at that age where I got so much shit going on that like once I like kind of vent about it, like it's out of my mind because I got so much other shit to fill in like the little amount of free space I got in here, right? And so I was talking about this with Rhino about some stuff, and then Rhino was like, "Oh, you don't remember this?" Like, so I guess I was on a stream a few years ago. I think it was on a Critical Drinker stream, and like everyone on there was loving Andor. I was like, excuse me, did I walk into the wrong room? And I guess like I said that I didn't like it. And one of the things is I have this fancy fucking microphone, but for whatever I don't know, I've messed with the settings so many times. Whenever I'm on streams with other people, the second they start talking, my mic cuts out. And obviously I'm here on the show, but when I go back and watch the live feed, my microphone cuts out when other people start talking. I don't know how to fix it. And so I guess what happened was, and I do remember this being said to me. I believe it was from the Littlest Platoon guy, and, like, I was just, like, basically calling out that Andor sucks and all of that, and, of course, you got, like, I think I was the only one on the panel that didn't like it, if I can remember correctly, and, like, I believe he said to me something along the lines like, "Oh, you just don't like it because it doesn't have, like, lightsabers and, like, fights," and I tried to defend myself, and I think I got steamrolled and my mic got cut off, or I was just like, I'm talking to a brick wall, like, uh, there's no point in having this conversation, but my brain is not wired that way, so when people say that, I'm like, "You don't know me at all." Like, my favorite character is Darth Vader, not because of his lightsaber ability, but because of the fact that he's a tragic fucking fallen character. When I first saw him when I was a little kid in A New Hope, I thought he was cool as fuck, and, I related the most to Luke Skywalker because I was a little kid that grew up on a farm, and when I would stare up at the sunset too, and, I was like, "I love Cinderella, and I love Snow White, and I'm like princes and or princesses and Barbies, and I want one day to, like, marry a handsome prince and live in a castle." And then Luke Skywalker was staring at the binary sunset, and he's just like, wants more with his life, and he can go from nothing and become like a hero. And then I was like, oh my God, I do that same fucking thing. I could one day be a hero like Luke Skywalker. I can go and make something of myself, like, and make all these cool friends and go do all these cool things. I don't have to just be stuck on a farm for the rest of my life. Like, that touched my soul. And then the whole tragedy of Anakin and, Luke and, like, the father dynamic, and I'm like, I love my father. My mom gave me kinda shit because I was really drunk at my wedding. Like, obviously after, not, like, for the ceremony, but at the reception, I got pretty freaking drunk, and I gave a speech, and to be fair, my whole family everybody that was at my wedding said I gave, like, the most amazing speech because I know how to get people in the fifis, especially my friends and family, but, I guess I went a little too long in the speech about how much I love my dad, and I was like, "You barely mentioned me, you all about your dad," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, I'm a daddy's girl, what do you expect, mom?" But, I like those kind of relationships. Out of s like, I said this the other day and somebody was shocked. They sent me this, like, long email about it, and I said simply because I said, "My favorite animated movie is The Prince of Egypt." It's great fucking it's about brothers. I love those dynamics. I absolutely love that. I love Les Mis, not because of the fighting in the French Revolution and the singing. Love the character Javert, and I love the dynamic between him and Jean Valjean and that, like, moral dilemma of who is, like, right and wrong. That's fucking great, okay? That's why I love Star Wars. The greatest scene in all of Star Wars, and I've said this over and over again, is in The Return of the Jedi when Luke and Vader are having that conversation before they go up to the second Death Star. And Vader turns around and he says, "It's too late for me, son." And in that one fucking line, it's the entire tragedy of Anakin fucking Skywalker. And that's the first time that Anakin speaks to Luke. And you see that Anakin is like, the entire time Luke's like, he has faith in his father, which is absolutely beautiful. And I feel like people just today don't understand that concept of faith anymore. And especially like faith in people that you love and care about because people are so used to being backstabbed. Luke Skywalker's like, "Bitch, you cut off my fucking hand. You destroyed an entire fucking planet. You're a murdering psychopath, but I still got faith in you that you're a good guy," which doesn't make any fucking sense that he would murder his nephew in his sleep. Makes any sense? Absolutely not. These people don't understand Star Wars. But in that one fucking line, Darth Vader reveals that he knows everything he did was wrong. He regrets it. He feels like fucking shit for it, but it's too late for him. He's too far gone. He can't turn back. And it's so fucking tragic. And that's why Star Wars is fucking great. That's why Darth Vader is like the greatest character of all fucking time, man. And that's the reason why I love Star Wars. Did I mention a lightsaber battle or explosions? No. No. So I guess I was on a stream and they like wrote it off to, "Oh, that's the only reason you don't like Andor." And I'm like, it's a really naive thing to say. And it's a very judgmental thing to say. But I mean, that's just like when you don't have any argument because you're emotionally attached to this thing. So you just go and you lash out at anyone that has a different opinion than you.